Welcome back to the Friday Night 360 AZ preview show. I'm Jordan Ham alongside Haley Stasiak. We are continuing our quarterfinal coverage, and with that, we're going to bring in Queen Creek head coach Travis Schureman. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me on this morning.
So you took over in 2013, and since then, you guys haven't had less than 10 wins in a season. So a lot of continued success since you took over. But what makes this team different in terms of other ones that you've coached in the past?
I think they just like being with each other. They like playing for each other and being around each other, and that doesn't always happen within high school groups of teams. Sometimes you have your groups and your cliques, but these guys really enjoy playing with each other and being around each other.
How has Dylan Borja stepped up after Trey Johnson was down with injury earlier in the season?
Yeah, I think Dylan's a great young man who's worked hard, and he was a guy that it was right in the mix with Trey. And we felt like he had an opportunity to be there with Trey, and so I think he just kind of stayed to the plan and stuck to the path that he's on, and we're excited for him as he's a junior and he's doing a lot of great things for us.
Devin Larson has just been such a good two-year starter for you, over the past couple of seasons. And Garrett Duke is a guy that's just such a big target for you guys, bringing in a third of his receptions are touchdowns. So how have you seen this passing game develop over the past couple of weeks?
Yeah, those, obviously Devin's a kid that we think highly of. We think he's highly, under-recruited and deserves to be getting a lot more looks than he's getting. But, I think they just have a great relationship. Devin and the receivers take a lot of time to work together in the off-season and during practice and after practice. And I think that, shows on Friday nights.
After that loss against Williamsfield to close out the regular season, what did you tell your team about moving forward?
You know what? Obviously, it's never good to lose when you have goals. But we just told them, hey, we just got to get back to the basics and kind of get back to what we do well, and that's just doing the little things right. Try to play disciplined football and be physical, and maybe not think we're better than we are.
Looking ahead to this game against Notre Dame Prep, I see a lot of similarities in terms of these two teams taking the field on Friday night. What's jumped out to you about the Saints when you've been scouting them?
Well, obviously, number one is the real deal, right? He's pretty dang good. Wide receiver, running back, they get him the ball for a reason. But, I think they're a physical football team. They got playmakers all over the place, and so they're a very balanced team on offense and get the ball to their playmakers. But defensively, they play an aggressive type of defense and are physical, and just really impressed with what they do over there from top to bottom. Their whole team is just, they play really well.
Good luck on Friday night, Coach, and thanks for the time.
Thank you, guys.
All right, that was Travis Schureman from Queen Creek. Going to be a really good game in 5A. I think Queen Creek and Notre Dame, they're just filled with playmakers. And when he referenced number one, that was Jake Smith over at Notre Dame, who just picked up his 17th offer from Arizona. So he's having a very good recruitment and a very good season so far. What jumped out to you about what Coach Schureman had to say?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, I saw this team play against Hamilton and kept tabs on them as the season has progressed. And they are one of those teams that just pushes forward. And like he said, after that loss against Williamsfield, back to the basics. And that's new season. Playoffs start. It's a new season. You have to go back to the basics. And I think from what I've seen with this team, they'll bounce back, and it's going to be a good one on Friday.
And Queen Creek, I feel, is one of the most consistent teams in the state. They, as I said, Coach Schureman took over in 2013, hasn't had a season with less than 10 wins. So the proof is in the pudding there in terms of the success and things like that. So should be a very good game. That's actually going to be one of the games that I'll be out at on Friday night. So we're going to go ahead and move on to our preview coming up next. That's on the Friday Night 360 AZ preview show.